Hello, so welcome. Today I am so excited to be here with my good friend Casey Plouffe. And I pronounced her name right?
Yep, that's
I've heard it
correct.
Plouffe, and I'm like, I think it's Plouffe, but I better double check. We're good friends, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Anyways, I first of all, I wanted to just let people know what I see in you, Casey. So Casey is someone who, when I first met you, maybe had just begun to understand who you were and started to create a vision. And the thing that has really struck me about you all the time is not only are you like beautiful and fun and energetic and you just have this great energy about you, but you also have a focus. And once you saw that vision, you have never given up on it. Like you've gone for it, you've let it clarify itself, you've just really begun to blossom because you've allowed your purpose to drive you. And it's so beautiful to watch. And I would just really love for you, first of all, to introduce yourself to everybody so we know more about who you are. And then I'll just ask you questions, about as we go along about things that you say and everything else. So
Okay, yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's just been, gosh, such a pleasure. The people that you get to meet. I always say in the personal development journey and everything, it's the relationships that make our lives so rich. And just the people that just are on the journey of purpose and a path with purpose and really looking to make a difference in the world. And gosh, if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be having a call like this or doing what it is, in network marketing and everything, I've been like, that's crazy. So a little bit about me. Back in August of 2012, I had recently gotten married. I was a night shift nurse. I was a nurse for kids with cancer. And Carrie, I know that's a very real thing for you. And you and your family went through that. And I didn't know a lot about health at all. Even as a nurse. And I got exposed to it through my friend Jennifer. And I really just kind of got on this path of more of a holistic and started to, kind of really understand nutrition through our company. And I was just blown away by the industry of network marketing after I learned more about it. And so I dove into that. And I really do think, out of so many industries that we can be in and entrepreneurship, I have just fallen in love with network marketing and everything that it has to offer. I have great friends and companies across the board. And, I started going to events and I started, building my business, but it was kind of like that a lot of times, a lot of wall kicking moments as we described. And so that's when I met your husband, Dave, at an event called Follow Your Bliss. And that was really the first time that I've really gotten exposed at a very deep level to personal development, clarity, casting the vision, and really being specific about it, and then working, so much on that part, as well as, all the action and skill sets, and no matter what industry or, what your skill set is, and that day-to-day action, it was really just about that mind and spirituality and everything. So he really brought me back to all of that with a presentation that I saw him do. And I left that event back in December of 2013. And my life has just been skyrocketing since. It's been like this rocket ship. Sometimes it's almost like, whoa, slow down. I'm like, no, I want to go faster. So getting clear on that too. But so it's just, I started out as just wanting to feel a little bit better and starting some products and a network marketing company, as a nurse, and thought I was gonna go back and get my master's and do something in nursing. So just no idea, where it was gonna lead me. But I remember one day in my scrubs, and I was looking in the mirror. And I want to say this was before I found, entrepreneurship, network marketing. And I just was looking in there and I was like, man, I thought it was just going to be something more, like just something more, and not just, going to work every day. We lived in this tiny little duplex. It was freezing. We didn't even have central heat. And I just remember in the winters, it was like so cold, and I put the heaters right by my feet, and so I was just like, there's gotta be something more. And hence, here we are now.
that's amazing. So I was going to ask you, what was it? Because we have such a culture tradition that if you've gone to school and you spent all this time for a career, it must be the most important thing you could do. and it's a stigma that exists, and then you're all of a sudden introduced to this whole new idea that takes no schooling. And what is it that allowed you to let go of that precedence of, I've gone to school for this and this is like the most important thing I could do, like I'm here blessing the lives of these sick kids, right? How did you decide that it was okay to let go of that and to do something completely non-traditional and put your hope into that? And you said that you had that desire of, there's got to be something more, or that wonder, but is there something that was more tangible that just gave yourself that permission to just do that, to let go and try something new?
I just started surrounding myself with the possibility and the idea of it, and not necessarily like in person, like with people. My friend Jennifer, who introduced me, but she didn't really have a lot of success yet, in it. But it was the idea. I just started getting, watching maybe some calls like this, just listening, jumping on phone calls, listening to podcasts, to CDs, just watching videos, reading books, and then of course, going to the events. But when I started going to events and I saw people, I just saw a vision, and it was like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And if it's possible for somebody else, it's got to be possible for me. There's possibility out there. And I just hung on to that belief. My dog is dreaming in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear. He's literally dreaming. But yeah, it was just, that was it. And it was just pushing down the noise. I mean, when you decide to step outside the box and do something like, nursing is a great career, and I went to school for 6 years. I invested tens of thousands of dollars, had student loans, went and paying basically to work in clinicals, and so to give that up, people thought I was crazy, and I was really bad when I started in network marketing, like really, really bad. And so I think people were seeing that I wasn't good, and that I was thinking I was gonna like leave my job and be, and I was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire and retire my husband. People thought I lost it. So I had to push that noise out and had to stop kind of surrounding myself with people that were, kind of naysayers, and just keep that positive noise coming in through books, CDs, and podcasts. And as my circle started to grow more of people who had that same kind of drive as me.
Fantastic. So environment is really important. We hear all the time, willpower only lasts so long, right? We can't rely on our willpower to do anything. So our environment plays a big part in that. So I love how you mentioned that, surrounding yourself with, and it didn't have to be that you totally left your relationships behind and all of a sudden found yourself new friends. You started with books and audios and just new ideas, new voices in your head, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't someone that like really had this super huge, large circle to begin with, even, but it was the people that I was around. It's just, they just didn't have the same desire. They were content. They didn't want to stretch out, and that's fine. And, and it's not that they were, doubting me as a person. It was just that was something so foreign to them, and they weren't willing to be open. They didn't want to be open to it, and that's okay. Everybody's on their own journey. But I just craved that information and that positivity and just growth. And it's amazing though, the relationships that do come into your life that feed those. It's you're definitely not going to be missing out, and you don't have to, forget your circle. But it's fun though, because a lot of times when you elevate yourself so high, you get to go back and your circle gets to come with you that, may not have in the beginning, and then they do in the future, and everybody, it's a win for everybody at that point.
That's fantastic. So I have created my own little program, I guess, and basically finding your purpose to me is the same thing as finding your voice, which has been my journey. And so what I've noticed, and I've actually created an acronym that goes, so finding the value of yourself, being open to new ideas and to new opportunities, new adventures, and then setting an intention to act upon the things that you've been learning, to incorporate them into your life, which is a lot of time getting really uncomfortable doing that, stepping into your fear, and then clearing out the old beliefs, the old limitations, and replacing them with that new stuff. and then expressing it, just speaking it out loud and allowing that purpose to come to fruition. So that's kind of been the path that I've been following. And as I watch other people, I notice that it doesn't have to go in that order necessarily. And all of the elements are there in every story that I've ever heard. So I guess my question for you is, it's kind of 2 or 3-fold. What do you feel like your first step was in that? Like, did you first, like, all of a sudden know who you were and then decide to just go for it? Or did maybe you have to open your mind to possibilities and start stepping outside of your comfort zone first, and in the process of discovering what you and who you are, and from there? Does that make sense?
It does, and and I'm still learning who I am. The person that I was a year ago is not the person that I am now, and I'm sure that a year from now I'm going to be at a different level, in a different place, and different things are going to be coming in, different ideas. We're creatures of creating constantly, and learning constantly, and quote unquote failing constantly, which is learning and elevating constantly. So but I'm okay with that, and just knowing that it is a journey, and I've really gotten okay with it. I'm not shooting for a destination, to having goals, but the goals are just, one step along this path of just this thing that we call life. And, we talk about, being open. Lenny, a dear friend of both of ours, and I know a mentor, he's someone who always, when he introduces me or something, he's like, the one thing about Casey is she's open. Like, it might sound crazy or like that there's just no way, but she'll be open. And I am, and I'm open to listen to anything that, okay, maybe that can be true. Let me, think about it, study it, like get some feeling behind it. So I do stay open to things. And I think that's the most expensive thing that we can do in life, is to be closed. Closed, opportunities, for sure, but just closed and new thoughts and a new paradigm, that can completely shift your life, that, Dave so eloquently and beautifully, teaches. And you guys, when I saw that in his PowerPoint, and now you guys, do the Mechanic to Millionaire, it's that's something that's always about being open to new ideas. And then getting the intention behind it, though. I mean, you're brilliant with that. And one of my favorite books is Dr. Wayne Dyer, who, I may have never met him, but I consider him possibly my number one mentor. I've probably read more Wayne Dyer books than any other book, and done more of his meditations and CDs and everything. I'm a Wayne Dyer junkie, and I have the Powers of Intention written on my wall right now, and it says intention. It's on my mirror, not my mirror, my window, and it says creative, love, beauty, kindness, abundance, expansiveness, and receptivity. And so that those are all his 7 steps of intention. So I look at that every day when I'm sitting down at my computer and I'm going to work, and I'm networking, I'm creating, I'm thinking of ideas. I think about, okay, what's my intention behind this message? What's my intention maybe behind this idea? And so having that intention is critical, I believe, to really the creating process of the life that we're desiring. So I think that you're brilliant on that aspect, and we have to make room for it. A lot of times what we have going on in our life, a lot of certain habits that we have, that we have to limit those, or we have to, if we're a creature of habit, and watching TV too much, we're gonna have to take down the TV some, pick up a book a little bit more, whatever habits aren't serving you, based on what goals that you do have, is something that you for sure. And then you do, it's allowing it all to express, and it starts to express based on what we start to attract. Or even if you hit some resistance, when you have that value in yourself, knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you're deserving, of these goals, of these desires, and everything that, that you're working for, you've put your intention in. And that way, even when you hit those stepping stones of, just where you feel like you're getting knocked down, when you have that value of knowing, that initial step that you're starting, that it's for you, that, okay, I've got to learn something here. And it can be a lot less, just feeling of challenge, but, you know, more of a flow and an ease and an acceptance, and be willing just to get up and try again, with all that starting in that value. But really, I think that, you know, that's where everybody has to start, is knowing that, you know, if some crazy thought or wish or hope or dream comes to us, that we are so honorable of attaining that, and, you know, that it's ours. I love we call ourselves the have it all team, and, you know, we always, when we do things or we sign letters, we say that the secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. It's knowing that you already have it all, because it's all right here inside you, right? All the pieces are already here. There's nothing that you're going to have to find outside yourself. It's just using that intelligence inside you to start molding it all together. Because we already have everything that, you know, we could possibly desire. It's just then getting into all those steps that you just talked about. So, I don't know if I went off on a tangent, or if those are my thoughts about that.
I thought it was perfect. I love your energy. That's one of the things. So my question for you right now is, one of the things that I hear from people is, I have good intentions and I get started on something and then I just stop. And I can't figure out why I can't get past that, or what is it that causes me to lose my motivation. So one thing I've seen in watching you, I mean, and I haven't seen every step, and I'm positive, just because I know how life works, that there have been failures and falls and stumbles. However, you have gone from one magnificent win to the next. Like, you just hit millionaire how long ago? Not very long ago. Not long ago. And now you're advancing to, you know, you've, in our company, we call it maxed out your first center. Like, you've gone as far as you can and getting ready to re-enter and increase, you know, even more. And it's just gone. Like, a steady climb is what it appears. So what is it that has kept you, even when you fall, even on the days when you don't feel the greatest and you're like, I just don't want to do that today? What is it that allows you to, because, I mean, intention is great, but they also say the road to hell is paved with good intention. So what is it that gets you to not just have an intention, but act on your intention even when you don't want to? Is there something that's inside of you that you can't turn off, or what is that?
It is. It's a pull. And I don't know that I could even, but you know when you have it, and you know, and it hasn't, oh my gosh, there's been so many behind the scenes. There's been wall kicking moments, tears, crying, just, you know, feeling like I'm letting people down, that I'm not doing enough. You know, the comparison still creeps in, of where, you know, I'm looking at other people, or I should be doing it this way, or I should be this further along, or, you know, all that ego and that noise and bad habits still creep in, that I have to constantly, like you guys say, you know, keeping the watchdog at the gate, you know, is this serving me? But I think the number is, like, I'm kind to myself. And I think that that's probably the number one piece of advice that I can offer, is you have to be kind to yourself on this journey of change. And if you're not kind to yourself, you're not going to, you know, pull yourself back up. Would you have friends if you talk to them how you talk to you? You know, maybe you start something and you don't finish it, or, you know, something. And I've done that, and I'm in the process of completely releasing that habit. That's a habit that still, you know, creeps back in, having this great thing and starting, but I still kind of keep the main thing, and, like, you know, the overall goal, I keep that at the forefront. And I think, you know, if I've just done one thing today that helps me get to that goal eventually, then it's, you know, can be a success. And maybe sometimes that is just shutting technology down, getting with myself, reading a book, you know, putting my feet up, and just, you know, laying on my husband and crying and saying, I'm overwhelmed, and then getting back to it, though, you know, and then just saying, okay, whew, I just needed to let that go. That's a learning moment, Casey. Now what can we do to, you know, get into action? But action will push down fear and doubt every single time. You know, and that action based on kind of what area is going on in your life, you know, is different always. Sometimes action's reading a book. Sometimes the action's the meditation. Sometimes action for me is networking, connecting with new people. You know, so I kind of just, but I'm kind. I'm kind to myself. I beat myself up a little bit, then I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. And I start to catch that beat up moment. that we're human, and it's the growth, and it really is finding. It's my new motto that like I'm stuck on. Every call I'm doing this, I get on a tangent on it. It's finding the joy in the journey. I heard Tony Robbins say, right, that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And I started thinking about that in like my life, or when I hit certain milestones, or, my gosh, I'm walking in the Cayman Islands, and Kathy Cooper calls me and she tells me I'm a millionaire in our company, and so I was like, yeah, but then I was like, oh, I should still be like doing a little bit more. Why haven't I done? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, but there's still those moments. So I've really just started to pause a lot and say, okay, find the fulfillment in whatever's going on, because it's part of the journey, and that's where the success is. It's not a certain milestone. It's not a rank. It's not a title. It's not a certain amount of income, right? Because the goal can be going there, because people can make millions. It's keeping the millions, right? I mean, so you can even think about that too. But it's finding the fulfillment. And fulfillment is just such a key. I am fulfilled. I am fulfilled. That's the affirmation, pops up on my phone. Fulfillment to me has just really become the epitome of success.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I've been really tapping into that a lot lately too. Like, I've been doing this 100 Days of Laughter. I don't know if you've seen, but it's just allowed me to look intentionally every single day for something to smile about, to laugh about, to be joyful about. And it has transformed my world that was already pretty fantastic, right? So it's, I love what you just said there. And earlier you said, it's knowing that there really is no destination. And you have a vision, though. I heard Molly Johnson, who works with Rod Hairston, who is, I don't even know what his company's called, like Growth U or something like that. Yeah, he's a phenomenal coach, author. Yeah, he's amazing. Anyway, he said, or he was talking to Jim Cooper and asked him, what's your vision, and what does it feel like to reach your vision? And he's all, I've never reached my vision. And they're like, what? Like, you have this, you're a billionaire, you have this amazing company, how can you say you've never reached your vision? And he's all, well, the vision is like the sun. I never want to touch the sun. That would burn me. It's so bright, it's so big that there's no way I'll ever reach it. However, I can see it every day, and it helps me know the direction to go in. And so even on those cloudy days, you can still see the sun behind the clouds, right? And so it's the vision that keeps you going, and being able to look at each stepping stone as the joy. So I felt you said it so beautifully. I just wonder if you have always had the purpose, the vision that you've had now, and maybe it was like really quiet or silent in the beginning, or what has happened to your vision, I guess? What is that? How do I ask the question? How is that growing, or has it grown, or has it just been more clear? Or, tell me about your purpose in the beginning when you were that nurse and you're like, wait, is this all there is? And how has it transformed now? And has it always been the same guiding star for you?
In the beginning, it was as easy, as simple as I didn't want to go through deployments with my husband. It was bring my husband home. That was it. He was active duty military. That was as far as I could see. It wasn't about changing the world, making the world a better place. It was one of my husband. It was a selfish, I guess you could call it, which, is that, I mean, that's love. I was opposite schedule of him. I was nights, weekends, holidays, that's when he had off, and that's when I was working. And that's really where it started. And, and then my gosh, getting in a house that had central heat. Oh, that was a vision right there. Right. So, that's where it started. just a little bit more comforts, and having him home more. And then when I really got around people that had bigger visions, I started reading, I started seeing possibility. I started seeing possibility, and now I just really do believe that love, enlightenment, peace, health, wealth, prosperity are the true things in this world. And with the free and unrestricted use of all things, that I am able to bring these things to millions and over time billions of people, like all of those different areas. And so that's a long-term vision of mine. I think about animals and kids. I really do think that changing the world at a drastic scale starts with what kids are being taught at a young age and what they're growing up with. And how many kids can we start to expose to universal laws and things like that. I think that's a huge thing. So I have this thing, it says library for all, and I have a picture of a little kid and just putting libraries, electronic libraries all over the world. And then I have animal rescue. I have visions to take animals and couple them with the elderly who are by themselves, and then employ women and children of abuse to go and then take care of the animals, feed them, walk them for the elderly who can't do that. So, I mean, those are massive things that will ultimately impact the world, at a very high level. And then as those things keep going, billions will be impacted. You touch one person's life. I mean, billions can be impacted from one person catching a true glimpse of possibility. I mean, billions are infected from Jim and Kathy Cooper, right? With greatness, they just are taking it, they're pumping it full into everybody, of just this greatness of vision that has been casted from three people, with John. And so yeah, it didn't start like that, but then once seeing the possibility, once really knowing worth and deserving, really understanding universal laws, how money works, I've become a huge student of money, a student of understanding wealth. Money is really kind of an illusion, but a student of exchange and what really wealth is, and how to move it. Numismatic law is what they call it. And Jeffrey Combs is somebody who introduced me to that. And I've just had amazing mentors now, and I spend a lot of time studying money. It's big goals like that take big budgets. And and being comfortable with money, being like, yeah, the more money, the more wealth that I receive, the more I do with it. And I'll never forget reading The Science of Getting Rich by Dave MacArthur, a handwritten book that he gave to Lenny. And it was like, your friend Dave. And I was like, oh, this is, after I saw Dave do that presentation, I was like, okay, this is the one I'm taking. Lenny let me take a book off of his bookshelf. When you guys can get like excited about books, where you're just like giddy about books, I mean, that's a shifting moment for sure. And I read that book, and it was like, it is your moral duty, it is your moral obligation to get rich, to serve humanity. And I've really taken that to heart. And so, just my husband and I are just really, just focused on growing our wealth so that we can serve a lot of people, and being comfortable and pushing down that whole, stigma of money is the root of all evil and all those things that we hear. And but that's, just big visions now to change the world, where it all just started with spending some more time with my husband and some warmer feet. And that was it.
I love that. So it wasn't about, I have to see my vision before I move. It was, here's the stepping stone, and I'm going to take it. And as you've taken each step, it's become bigger and broader and more clear to you, right?
Yeah, and there's still, it's kind of like, that's a vision, I love that with Jim Coover. Gosh, that's beautiful. The sun, it's always there, and you see it and you keep reaching because it'll burn you because it's so bright. And even now, and it's like, okay, maybe getting to a certain different home, or just having that peace where you don't have any debt being a goal, but it's all taking you to that bigger one. So it's still a stepping stones. It's figuring out like, as that process is happening, it's growing and growing and growing in the beginning, because you're first now discovering possibility and your infinite possibility, which I know for me was a very small when I started this. I wouldn't have thought that things were like this were even possible, the things that I'm experiencing now. So it's allowing those things, being open as they come in, and being open to changing your vision a little bit, to redoing it, and that's okay. It doesn't have to stay the same. And a lot of it can be for yourself, for your own joy and experience. It doesn't have to be for even others or change, if that's what drives you and pulls you to work harder, to show up, or, so that's okay. And not judging it, and just not judging it. But it's definitely, I believe that vision's still that's, an ultimate one, but little ones here and there and stepping ones, I think it's still going to change. And I'm going to be open as those come to me, and write them down and sit on them. And a year from now, we might have this call and it's a totally different vision. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. That seriously is what it's about. And it has everything to do with being open. And like you said, just finding the joy in the journey. Like, if you can't enjoy it for yourself, you're not going to be motivated, even though we can say, no, everything I do is for other people. And ultimately, finding the joy in your journey is the best thing you can do for other people, because it gives you that full cup that you have to serve from. Like, I served from empty for so long, and what I was doing, I wasn't serving anybody. And I've been able to understand that. And that's what I see in you. You're joy bubbling over. Every time I see you, you're just bubbling over, and I just can't help but receive from that. And that is the key, I believe. And you've just explained it so beautifully. I love it.
Fill in the cup. Like, that is key. I mean, we have to, and you have to kind of step back sometimes, and, you have to incorporate fun and laughter, and, I mean, you have to. And if you really want to, I think if you want to be successful, you have to love what you do. And if you're showing up every day and there's not a joy or a love to it, is there, as you go on, do things get easier? For sure. As we get better, things get better, and, whatever we're undertaking. But if you really, you're offering value to people, and you really, you're just service oriented, and you can turn that into joy. And you have to do that to yourself. I'm huge on massages. I'm huge on, sitting on the beach. I'm huge on just soaking up the sun, reading a book, unplugging. Like, those are just huge. I'm huge on, going out, having fun with my friends. Like, it's just, I'm big on all those things so that I can enjoy this journey along the process. But it's once I really started to enjoy what I was doing, in a sense of, finding balance, which is still, it looks like that for me. It just got so much better. So just enjoy it.
It's fantastic. Wow. Thank you so much. And I do feel like,
thanks for having me.
Again, you are welcome. I feel like we'll have to have you back, because I know there's no end to Casey Plouffe, and your energy is it's just contagious. I love it. I love you. I just thank you so much.
Well, I am so grateful for you guys. There's just no amount of words for what Mechanic to Millionaire has done for me and so many people I know, and you guys just serve so much, and you're just impacting so many lives. So we just love you guys, and we're so grateful. And keep doing it, Carrie. Keep doing it. Keep spreading the message of people finding their value and putting their intention out and receiving it all, because you're an inspiration to so many. So love you dearly, and just thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. There's no stopping us now, right? There's no stopping.
Going.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.